Hello, I'm Herrzog, and welcome back to the Kaiserreich timeline. In the last video, I covered the timeline from 1917, where the Kaiser had refused unrestricted submarine warfare, and then all the way to the British Empire collapsing under the weight of Syndicalism in 1925. Let's see what happens to the rest of the empire, and after that, the world. Michael Collins, the leader of the Irish Free State, seizes his moment dissolving the Irish Free State. He proclaims the Republic of Ireland and declares himself as the president, which he would hold deeply into the game, essentially making him the dictator of Ireland. Of course, Ireland wasn't the only country to take advantage of Britain's demise. Spain took Gibraltar, Argentina finally took the Falklands, Nejd took the Trucial States, and Shamar took Kuwait. The Ottomans took Cyprus and Aden, but Yemen got jurisdiction over Aden. Egypt gained full independence and took Sudan. Speaking of Africa, Germany takes most of the British African holdings, except for South Africa, and they take the Pejuana Protectorate. The Caribbean Squadron of the Royal Navy takes not only Britain's old Caribbean holdings, plus Bermuda, but as well as the old French ones. Germany seized some more of their important small colonies, which are Malta, Suez, Barabara, Sri Lanka, the Strait Colonies, Brunei, and Sarawak. Australasia predictably takes the British parts of Papua New Guinea and Fiji. But we can't keep dodging Britain's favorite colony, India. Sorry, Canadians. Go eat whatever you guys eat. Vinegar? I don't know. The northwest area of India stays loyal to the crown. The socialists in the east set up the Bharatiya Commune. Some princes down south form their own federation, the Princely Federation. Meanwhile, Burma says screw this and then finally gained their independence as the Kingdom of Burma. Meanwhile, in Canada, the Senate is replaced with the House of Lords. Li Sei nervously sweats. With that out of the way, let's head to China. Zhu Zhisheng becomes the president of the chaotic Chinese Republic. To restore order, he does something that's extremely stupid for president of a republic. He asks Germany to help him restore order. And how will they do that? They'll set up an emperor. Let me remind you, this is a republic. And just as predictably, this goes wrong because Guominjun, thinking that he's betraying the ideas of a republic, which he is by installing an emperor, declares war. Meanwhile, in the Balkans, Serbia organizes a Slavic revolt. But Austria goes up to the Croats and is like, "Hey, Croatia? Yeah? Serbia said you should do artillery only.
And I won't watch this anymore!"
Austria establishes a Croat-led pan-Slavic kingdom called Illyria to stop the revolt. Hungary is pissed. Starting in 1926, Germany helps out the Chinese by invading Guominjun through Indochina. The remnants of the Guominjun flee to the western parts of China, with the German concessions being economic control over southern China, establishing the Allgemeine Ostasian Gesellschaft, or AOG. But when you talk about China, you have to talk about its mortal enemy. No, not that one. Not that one. That one, yes. Japan. Japan supports Zhang Zuolin, the warlord of Manchukuo, but they want to start direct conflict with the Germans, so they established a Fengtian government. Meanwhile, Brazil embroils itself into a civil war after the president was assassinated. Starting and ending 1927, the king of Romania, Ferdinand I, kicks the bucket, and his son, Michael, takes the throne. But here's a plot twist. Michael is a minor, so he's easily influenced. The military takes advantage of this. Essentially, the military takes power. Going to America, an election takes place. Herbert Hoover beats out Al Smith, but we see the rise of third parties, with Norman Thomas, a member of the Socialist Party, winning some of the Midwestern states. Even more clearly in other American elections, with Jack Reed becoming a senator from New York and Huey Long becoming governor of Louisiana. Even more elections occur, with the Republican Party winning the presidential seat in Brazil. Staying in Latin America, the revolution spreads to Central America, with Guatemala and El Salvador emerging to form Central America. Even more news from Latin America, with the dictator of Venezuela, Juan Gomez, being overthrown after losing military support. Advancing into the next year yet somehow staying in the same place, Bolivia starts to attack Paraguay, stirring the Chaco War. Again moving on to the next year, Alfred von Tirpitz, who had become a politician at the same level of Otto von Bismarck, dies. He is replaced by Franz von Papen. Starting in 1931, as a counter-move to the rising threat of Central America, Costa Rica and Nicaragua form the United Provinces. In Austria, their largest bank almost collapses due to the Crisis Social Party being involved in a banking scandal, which almost destroys the party. Latin America becomes even more complicated, with Chile falling to syndicalism, and they start to help the syndicalist rebels in Argentina. Starting 1932 off with something that totally won't cause instability, an electoral tie occurs in America. Herbert Hoover is re-elected by the House of Representatives, and Huey is pissed that he didn't get the Democratic nomination, so he forms the American Union Party. Down in South Africa, James Hertzog wins the election, declares South Africa to be a republic. Otávio Mangabeira continues the Republican streak of presidencies in Brazil. Down in South America in 1933, Paraguay wins the Chaco War, which devastates Bolivia so heavily that the republic turns into a full-on dictatorship. According to the wiki, nothing happens in 1934. Maybe this time can be used to reflect on the other chaos known as humanity, the way we kill each other for zero gain, the reason why we exist, live, and love living, for it to only be taken away from us at a moment's end from an enemy artillery gun or a grenade thrown down in the trenches. Maybe we should institute world peace. Shit, someone unsubbed. Oh well, a turn to hell for everyone then. Going to Romania, their government is quickly and gruesomely overthrown by one of the right-wing political groups, along none other than the Iron Guard, with a right-wing nationalist agenda hell-bent on returning all Romanians back to Romania motherland. Sounds familiar? The leader, or conductor, is Corneliu Zidicundeledu. The king, who I may remind you, is a minor, flees the country. Going down to the Plata, Chile gets a new chairman, Marmaduke Grove. And Argentina gains a whole new dictatorship under Manuel Calles. And that's it. That's the Kaiserreich timeline up to 1935. Sorry that the video was a bit shorter than part 1. I'm not good at spacing this out. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed the video, and subscribe if you like it. If you're interested in the mod, I have it in the description down below. Anyways, bye.